Good evening, everyone, and welcome from Loudon, New Hampshire for the Marlboro 150 for the Gears Cup Series only on Twitch.tv. Welcome to my channel. My name is Tom Torrey, a.k.a. The Horseboat. Happy to have you along the ride here for this evening. Looks like right now we have nearly a full field for this lobby and about less than 5 minutes of practice left to go. But let's get right down into the thick of it for tonight and what we have in store for you. So tonight, as you've seen, tonight will be the Marlboro 150. Next week, we're going to be at Pocono Raceway for the Dundee's 250. Can't wait for that one. That is going to be a great race at the Triangle. And then Sonoma Raceway 2 weeks from tonight on July 14th for the Coors Banquet 100. And then the last race of the season, July 21st, Legacy, Texas Motor Speedway for the Boot Barn 250. All those, and highlighted in blue is the start of our playoff series, with it ending on October 6th. For Gears presents the finale at Las Vegas. So we're getting excited. Over the halfway point, it is now getting down to business with points starting to stack up. Let's get right into that with the points right now. As you can see, Mike DeWalt is your leader with 1,281 points. Sean Anderson, Nate Fuller, Lucas Reed, and Matt Albert are in your top 5 of points. Jonathan Militia, Cody Johnson, Perrin Huggins, Kyle Munson, Tyler Steiner, Robert Fitzpatrick, and Brian Lucan. Lucan and Fitzpatrick being on the bubble to make the playoffs. They do not have any provisionals remaining. Looks like Fitzpatrick does. He has about 3, but Lucan does not. So he is sitting on the bubble. Aiden Lund's right there. Keaton Salyers, Andy Bisag, Jonathan Stevens, Ron Fenton, Lucas Santos, Matthew Weeks, and Ethan Burrow on the outside looking in. The only 2 realistic people that are going to be able to get into the playoffs at this point would either be Aiden Lund or Keaton Salyers. Other than that, it's way too far back, and the top 12 is pretty much almost locked in. Getting ready to send you now track side for the last 5 minutes of practice. We'll see who the fastest times are and see if we can get a feel of what kind of race we're looking at here tonight. Looks like John Cutlip with a 30.78 is the best on the track so far here right now. We get a little bit of closer look. Number 28 there. There is John Cutlip, a new driver for the Gears Cup Series. Happy to have him here from Fairfax, Virginia. You see the 08 of Cody Johnson there, as well as Nathan Fuller. Again, 32 cars in attendance here tonight. We did, after last week's amazing turnout, up our turnout to 40 drivers for a full field. That was decided on and unanimously passed by our admin team. Some other guys out on the track. Looks like Tyler Steiner there. Like I mentioned, Cody Johnson. Mike DeWalt. Looks like he's got a nice car for tonight's race. Interstate Batteries, number 20 Toyota Camry. Aaron Sayer. Haven't said his name before. First time here with his 42 Chevrolet Camaro. Looks like he is 12th fastest for tonight's race. Just a little over 3 minutes before qualifying. Everybody doing their best to try to get as much out of their car as they can. Here's Josh Cole driving a few laps around the track for tonight's race. As you can see, some cars are spun around the track. It looks like Aiden Lund there. There's a 33 of Brandon Meyer. Had some unfortunate luck last week. Jaden Hicks in the 85 back in action. That's Sunoco Chevrolet Camaro. Mark Holloway did not qualify last week, but looking to qualify in tonight. He should be safe. Take a look at John Howard in the 78 Chevy Camaro. Christopher Pugliese in the 55 Kellogg's Corn Flakes Chevrolet Camaro. It's a sharp-looking ride for today's race here at New Hampshire. Again, Loudon, New Hampshire is tonight. New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the site. Now we'll get you the sounds of iRacing here. Get you all set for tonight's race. Again, I'm Horse Boat, a.k.a. Tom Torrey. And this is the Gears Cup Series on Twitch.tv. It is qualifying time. And we are ready to have some fun here. Again, EWB 37, ready to have some fun, as am I. Again, my 3 picks tonight for this race. Race winner, I believe, is going to be Ethan Burrell. Second, Trey Holmes. And third, Mike DeWalt. That is my top 3, and I'm sticking to it. Let's ride along with Mark Holloway coming out for his first laps of qualifying. Again, a lot of new blood in the last few weeks of the Gears Cup Series. And happy to have those who have joined. Again, out there, people are looking to subscribe to this channel. There are new sub tiers. Some cool stuff you get when you do that. But a like and a follow is perfect. We do appreciate that. John Cuplip on the board. And Mike DeWalt as well with 31.26 being the fastest so far. See what Holloway comes up out of turn 4. Looks like he's going to be a little bit off the pace with a 32.5. 32.05, I should say. Go Jonathan Militia with the Marlboro 69 Chevy Camaro. Currently running in 7th, or now 8th. Let's see what he can do. Comes out of 3 and 4. And that will do him no better than what he is in right now, is 9th place. John Cutlet, Trey Holmes, Nathan Fuller, Mike DeWalt, Perrin Huggins, Sean Anderson, Nick Wood, Brandon Smith, Jonathan Militia, and Matthew Semple, your top 10 right now. Matt Albert qualifying 16th. Mellow Yellow, 13 of Keaton Sawyers. He is going to qualify 11th, it looks like. Let's see if we see Corey Rainey. Be his first laps of the qualifying here. We'll ride along with him. Oh, not good. Not good. He has crashed the inside wall. Hopefully, Corey Rainey will be all right. Big Ethan Burrell. So while he's driving a little bit, it's going to be 150 laps of stage breaks, completion of lap 40, and completion of lap 60. You get 1 fast repair, 5 tire sets, 50% fuel pack capacity. Race time's going to be at noon, and the fixed setup of choice tonight is New Hampshire. A big thing that people have to focus on tonight is be conscientious of braking points and don't run over the guy in front of you. That is a big thing hopefully we can avoid for tonight. Ethan Burrell is going to start 7th, knocking Jonathan Militia and Matthew Semple out of the top 10. Nick Wood is there as well in 10th. Well, let's give you guys the breakdown of the grid here. Give you just a moment. Looks like they're going to get a 3-minute warm-up before the race. And while they do that, let's get ready together. Take a break, grab something to drink, and get ready for the Marlboro 150 for the Gears Cup Series, only on Twitch.tv on the home of the Horse Boat. I will also mention I have now my own currency called horse bucks. And the biggest thing you can earn with them horse bucks is for 500 horse bucks, I will shut up and do a loose and loud session is what we're going to call it here tonight. Big Tom 0723, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate that quite a bit. Hopefully you're here for the long run. Again, happy to have you. But again, for 500 horse bucks, you'll see it. The G letter. Broadcaster will take a moment from calling the race unless a caution occurs on the track, unless the redeemer listens to the sounds of the race without audible interference by me. Again, Big Tom, can't appreciate that enough. Tom's a great name to have as I share that with you. So let's get into the funky chicken. Let's get into the action here tonight for qualifying. Your pole sitter tonight is going to be John Cutlip. Next to the outside of him is going to be Elliot Drummond, Trey Holmes, Nathan Fuller, Mike DeWalt, Perrin Huggins. Let's take a look down that list as I'll play it for you. And we are going to take off. Yeah, John Cutlip, Elliot Drummond in row 1. Trey Holmes, Nate Fuller in row 2. Mike DeWalt, Perrin Huggins, row 3. Ethan Burrell, Brandon Smith, row 4. Nick Wood and Sean Anderson, row 5. Semple and Militia, row 6. Nathan Guilford and Keaton Sawyers, row 7. Josh Cole and Kyle Munson, row 8. Matt Albin, Brandon Meyer, row 9. Jaden Wicks and Lucas Reed, row 10. John Howard, Mark Halloway, row 11. Michael Menchaca, Tyler Steiner, row 12. William Hitzman, Cody Johnson, row 13, and more. We have 32 drivers here for tonight. Looks like 30 is in the field right now. Lights are off, and we are ready to get it on for the Marlboro 150 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Green's out. Green flag. Green flag.
Green flag, and we are off and racing. Cutlip leading it down nice and clean to start the race. Again, everybody trying to be cognizant of people's braking points. Cutlip going a little too heavy in the paint early. Drops back, lets Drummond take the lead to get out front. Oh, Cutlip trying to keep it together. Look at the action all over the track. Looks like Brandon Meyer, Matt Albert fighting for position. Looks like Jonathan Militia is gone for a ride. He is slowing down. He will keep it green. No caution. Again, first caution will be at lap 40 for stage. Didi the King. Good to hear from you, man. Heard you might be popping in here soon. I am very hopeful for that. Didi King, a notable person on console for NASCAR Heat 5. A dominant force in the league last season. Oh, and we got trouble. We got trouble. Perrin Huggins out and around.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And we have our first caution of the evening of the Marlboro 150. Let's back it up and see what we can see. So when we get the perspective from Perrin Huggins and what happened. All right, let's bring you back in. See what we got. Oh, just Cutlip and Huggins getting into it. Looks like John Cutlip got a really good run. Oh, looks like Huggins got a little bit loose coming out of 2. Yeah, as you can see, if we focus in on Huggins just for a split second there, he's already sideways, and Cutlip just helps it along a little further, bashing in the front end of his car. That is unfortunate for Perrin Huggins. Again, still getting into trouble after last week's race. Trying to push towards the end. It did not work out very well for him. Bringing back out now, caution side. Your leader is Elliott Drummond in the 29. Rode the 02 last week, but that was due to trading paints. First caution of the night. Hopefully that we won't see that again for a while, because we are 5 laps in of 150. Elliott Drummond and Trey Holmes are going to lead it off here on the front row. Again, looking for a few more drivers for the Gears Cup Series. We have almost a full roll. We really do. Nearly a full roster. Looking for a couple more people. There'll be recruitment races here after tonight's main race. But we are always looking for new talent, new blood, as a lot of it has been infused in the last month. So if you're interested, take a look at that ad there. League UI to apply is 9223. And shoot us an email. We'll get you into our Discord. Lights are on. That means we're going to go around at least 2 more times. And we'll get back at it for racing. That is unfortunate for Perrin Huggins. Looks like that's going to put him back in 26. So that's going to be a mighty tall hill to climb. John Cutlip as well. Looks like he got his fast repair and the nose is fixed on that car. There's Sean Anderson there in the Tire Pros 14 Ford Mustang. Right in front of him is Brandon Smith in the 56 DeWalt Toyota Camry. Lights are off, and that's time, or that means it's time to disco. Getting ready to hop along and get back to green flag racing. Again, stage 1 break is at lap 40. Stage 2 is the completion of lap 60. So you have a 40-lap jaunt and then a 20-lap sprint. And then the rest of those laps, 90 laps or so, hopefully are all green flag racing. Again, next week we will be at Pocono for the Dundee's 250. Can't wait for that one. Anybody that knows anything about me knows that I am a huge Office fan. All right, so as I mentioned before, pace car lights are off, and we are going to get back at it. Got about 34 laps left to complete, and we are green flag racing. Elliott Drummond is gone. He had a couple car lengths lead to begin with. Let's watch this crowd of drivers. Everybody minding their P's and Q's so far.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh, we've got trouble. And where is it? Looks like between Christopher Pugliese and William Hitzman. Let's find out what the heck happened there. All right, let's bring you back in, see what we can see. Oh, looks like Holloway, and that just caused a chain reaction. Let's back it up again, see what we got. Holloway gets loose, bangs into the door. Corey Rainey bangs into Pugliese, who then creates a chain reaction, and that, unfortunately, is bad news. Thank you, No DIQK, for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Very appreciative of that. Slow rolling here as we got 10 of 150 complete. Second caution of the night. My hope is that they can clean it up just a little bit. Follower count now up to 207, and boy, I could not predict that here this year. That is amazing. As soon as we get green flag, we get a nice little long run here. We're going to do our first Loose and Loud section for the Gears Cup Series. That is what we're dubbing it. Similar to Crank It Up from the other broadcasting networks, it will be Loose and Loud. Going to go around at least 2 more times here as we get set for green flag racing. Wanted to mention last week, huge compliments from new drivers here, veteran drivers. One of the cleanest weeks of racing as far as competitive on a long green flag run towards the end there of last week's race. People really enjoyed that. Hopefully we can get to that point here tonight. Again, 32 made the show. 30 on track right now. 31, I believe, of 32. So Elliot Drummond and Trey Holmes are going to kick it off for us with Nate Fuller and Ethan Burrell, row 2. You have Mike DeWalt and Sean Anderson, row 3, and Brandon Smith in the 51 car of Nick Wood in row 4. Running out your top 10 is Matthew Semple and Josh Cole. All right. Lights are off on the Ford Mustang iRacing pace car. Elliot Drummond is going to lead us to the Geico restart zone and get us kicked back off for stage 1.
Green, green, green.
Drummond getting a great start yet again. Kind of give you a bird's eye view of what we see all over the track. Keep It Alive says, thank you for doing these streams. It's really exciting seeing my dad race. I really appreciate what you do. That really, that hits home for me. That's something that I appreciate a lot. And genuinely speaking, I'm glad we can put that and make this available so you can watch your dad. Oh, Bangin' Doors here. Looks like Perrin Huggins and Michael Menchaca, and Huggins is around yet again.
Yellow.
This time taking Jonathan Militia with him. And hitting Matt Albert in the process. I am sure that made somebody very upset. I'm going to keep it with you here because we watched that live in action. Looks like 32 might have bumped the wall just a little bit of Menchaca. But I don't know what happened there. It looks like... Banging Doors with Menchaca. Okay. Gets into it there. He goes in a little too hard. That's all on Perrin Huggins. Going a little too hard in the paint, unfortunately. Looks like Matt Albert getting into some more unfortunate business, but that's going to bring our third caution out, and I think that is going to kind of flare some tempers. D.D. King says this is great. Missed his corner just a bit, but that's all it takes. You are damn right about that. That's all it takes, especially in New Hampshire. This track is so flat. If you overdrive it, you are screwing yourself and everybody that's around you. So Elliott Drummond, our leader, he's been the leader for most of the way here. Trey Holmes in second, Nathan Fuller in third. Dee Dee, since I have you in the chat, I have to ask you a question. And I hope I don't put you on the spot. Do you plan on coming back to the Gears Cup Series at some point? Putting him on the spot, ladies and gentlemen. See if I can get an answer out of him. Unfortunately, third caution of the night so far. Hopefully there's not too many more of those. I'm going to continue to have my beverages as long as that happens. Like I said, hopefully we can get a green flag run here so I can do the loose and loud segment. But thank you guys for hanging out and carrying the G here tonight for the Gears Cup Series. At least one more time around after this one, we'll get back to green flag racing. Jonathan Militia having a rough night. Perrin Huggins as well. TD King says, once I get iRacing, there's, okay, I would 100%. Yeah, all right. Hell yeah. Well, Dee Dee, once you get that going on, man, we would love to have you. As you can see, we've evolved quite significantly since we've last saw you. All right, are we getting the pace car lights off? Yes, we are. So that means it's going to be one lap to go. Let's get back to green flag racing again. Thing I like to do during recruitment races is if we have a lot of cautions, I start playing random pop artists like Shakira. Maybe a little bit of Lady Gaga to get the blood pumping. And at worst, I play Mariah Carey. None of it I own, but YouTube is a wonderful source for music videos of the 90s. Elliott Drummond and Trey Holmes going to kick us off here again. We're going to get a little close-up shot. As we're getting set to make Sweet Love by the Fire to finish out stage one for the Marlboro 150. Elliott Drummond kicks it off. Pace cars off, and green. Here we go. And we already have wreckage. Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. Oh, my Lord. Oh, we need some T-Swift. You're right, we do need some T-Swift. But let's see what happens. Looks like... See the 32 of Michael Menchaca. Just goes up and into Fitzpatrick. Doesn't even try to steer it. 78, and Corey Rainey get involved in an altercation as well. That is going to be a rough evening for them. It's been a rough evening for all of us here so far. Time to get their stuff together. All right. We're resetting again. Looks like Aiden Lund getting the free pass to get around. Hopefully we'll get back at it here shortly. Yeah, this week with how flat the surface is and all that stuff, it makes it for very difficult racing, especially for drivers who aren't as privy to racing tracks like this. So hopefully we learn some lessons here tonight and work our way through it. Again, loose and loud segment due to come anytime now. Lights are off on the pace car. And it looks like they're going to resort to single file restarts until they can get their stuff together. Again, good call, in my opinion. Great call. They need to do something about this and ensure that we can get to green flag running and green flag racing and sustain the run. Again, we got a lot. Looks like Lucas Reed right there in the 10 car looking sharp in the Craftsman Tools Chevy Camaro. Happy to see him. Oh, wow. We are getting bunched up. Not sure why that is, but
Hang on, we're not going green.
they're going to delay it one more time. Looks like they did delay it because of that bunch up there. So hopefully they can get their stuff together and worked out. We can get back green flag racing here momentarily. All right. I think we're going to get to it now. Pace car's off again. Let's try it one more time. Take two on this restart.
Green, green, green.
We are off and away. Elliot Drummond, your leader, with Trey Holmes, Nathan Fuller, Ethan Burrell, Sean Anderson, Nick Wood, your top five. Mike DeWalt, Josh Cole, Matthew Sample, Keaton Sawyer's your top 10. Looks like Meyer Menchaca going at it there. Oh, excuse me, that's Sean Cutlip. All right. Dare I do it? Yes, I dare. Loose and loud coming up right at you.
Yellow flag is out.
Not sure what happened here, but we're going to find out. Give me just one moment. I'll get it queued up. All right, we'll bring you guys back in here. This, to me, looks a little... Yeah, like banging in with Pugliese. Looks like Corey Rainey having a little bit of trouble. Let's back that up again and ride along with him. Let's see what we got here. Couldn't keep her together. And unfortunately, that is going to possibly ruin their day. And that is unfortunate, as we are close to the end of stage one. It has been a caution-filled stage one. Hopefully that'll change. But right now, it is looking pretty murky. Elliott Drummond, Trey Holmes, Ethan Burrell, Nathan Fuller, and Sean Anderson, your top five, with Nick Wood, Mike DeWalt, Josh Cole, Matthew Semple, and Keaton Salyers rounding out your top 10. Again, if you're hanging out, you're probably feeling as frustrated as I do. 5 cautions here to start off the race. Not something you like to see, and hopefully our drivers can clean it up. Pace car is off. Or excuse me, not pace car is off. Pace lights are off on the pace car. Again, single file restarts looks like to be the play here for now. Until they can clean it up. Looks like we are about 31 laps. It's 9 laps to go here for the end of stage one out of 150.
Green flag,
Elliott Drummond leads us off, and he is gone yet again. Trey Holmes in second. Ethan Burrell right there in third. Much like you saw last week. And Tyler Steiner is around.
Yellow flag is out.
Yeah, we're not even going to replay that. We'll be right back with an ad from our sponsors. Welcome back to the Gears Cup Series Marlboro 150 at Loudon, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I am Tom Torrey, a.k.a. the Horse Boat, hanging out here with you tonight as we have had a caution fest to start off the July 4th weekend here on June 30th. Not many laps left to the end of stage one, but we still have a long way to go, and these guys and gals need to figure it out. From a broadcasting standpoint, I love the action, but some of these mistakes are user-driven, and they could be avoided. We have a long way to go, and you cannot win it on the first lap, but you can definitely lose it, as a very wise man once told me. Again, we got 35 of 150 complete. Less than 5 laps to go before the end of stage one. Unfortunately, we're going to have another caution. And if it keeps up, my beverage is going to be gone, and I will be pretty sassy. Again, if you followed along with us most of the season, usually it's not like this. But New Hampshire is a difficult track, so beginner drivers who think they can run here, may have not put in the lap time needed to really understand this track. Even on a short run, it could get away from you in a snap. Driving a couple laps here myself, I noticed right away, you have to brake earlier, maybe downshift into 4, upshift into 5, once you get out on the back stretch and just kind of copy and paste. As flat as it is, the outside tires are going to get eaten alive. We thank you for joining us. Again, ready to go green flag racing. Next week we'll be at Pocono. Pace car is off, trying to get set and ready to rumble for the end of stage one of the Marlboro 150. Oh, looks like Burrell giving Fuller a bump. We'll file out throughout the field and see what we can find. See what trouble we can dig up. Drummond and Holmes, 1 and 2. Fuller, Burrell, and Anderson rounding out your top 5. With 3 laps to go. Knock on wood, we have gone around the track more than once. Two laps to go now to the end of stage one. And, oh, Fuller exits stage left. He'll keep it together and keep the dream alive. But that is going to bounce him out of the running as we have one more lap to go for the end of stage one. Unfortunately, I have to throw this yellow after this. But it will be so. Points are for the first 6 who cross the line. Mike DeWalt on the bubble fighting with Josh Cole. But Elliott Drummond coming around. He is going to be your stage one winner.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And that will be your stage one victory. Elliott Drummond making his presence felt here early as he is your Stage 1 winner of the Marlboro 150. So Elliott pulls off the Stage 1 victory. Again, continuing his arrival near the front. As soon as he's entered this league, he has been out front. Trey Holmes, Ethan Burrell, Sean Anderson, Nick Wood, and Michael DeWalt all getting points. Those ever so important points going into the playoffs. Again, we have 3 weeks of racing left after this one. Pocono, Sonoma, and Legacy, Texas Motor Speedway. July is a doozy of a month when it comes to play the playoffs. Again, if you're hanging out with me, thank you so much. I do appreciate the support and watching the Gears Cup Series on Twitch.tv. Give yourself a moment, grab a beverage, and get ready for Stage 2, as that will be at the completion of lap 60. Lights are off, and you know what that means. That means we're going to go back to green flag racing. Hopefully it stays that way for a while, as we have roughly a 16-lap jaunt or sprint to Stage 2. Sounds like I've been saying his name a lot tonight, but Elliott Drummond, our leader, going to bring us down to green flag for the start of Stage 2 of the Marlboro 150. Let's get it on. Stage 2, here we come. Drummond, Holmes, Burrell, Anderson, and Wood, your top 5. Probably the best way we can give you the best angle of the house. Everybody's seeming to get along just fine. Looks like Nate Fuller's front end is a little crinkled. Has to fight his way back. Looks like he is back in 18th. Drummond, Holmes, and Burrell, your top 3, with Anderson and Wood rounding out your top 5. But it looks like he is settling into the zone. Here's Nick Wood. Looks like Parrot Huggins has crawled his way back up to 6th. Fighting for his life every lap. Again, 12 laps to go until the end of stage 2. Drummond leads the way.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And we have ourselves another caution. Let's see who it is. Looks like Matt Albert on the receiving end of this one. Let's take a look. All right, let's bring it back in here, see what we can see. Looks like Matt Albert just kind of loses it, overcorrects, tees off into the wall, make contact with a couple different cars. But it looks like that was the magic of it. Unfortunately, Matt Albert's night is coming to a close, I would imagine, here pretty soon. He's been involved in another altercation, not of his own volition. All right, we bring it back here again for you. Elliott Drummond, your leader still. Looks like Reed getting a free pass. 10 laps to go to the end of stage 1. There's 2, I should say, 2. Thank God we got through stage 1. Again, if you're hanging out, getting through the pain like I am tonight, I hope you have a beverage. Looks like we might have a special guest in our presence here tonight. We'll see. See if we can get that to happen. Jordan Clayton, photographer extraordinaire, might join us here tonight. We will see. So hopefully after this we'll have one more lap around and then back to green flag racing to conclude stage 2. Again, if you're out there in Chatland, let's chat it up. Who do you got here for tonight? Who's your pick? So far, I have loved what I've seen from Trey Holmes. I think he's just a guy waiting to lurk. I had picked Ethan Burrell, Trey Holmes, and Mike DeWalt as my 1, 2, and 3 participants. Please tell me what you think it will be. Pace car is off, and
Green
we
flag,
are
green
popping.
flag.
Thank the Lord. We are back at green flag racing. Again, really good group of drivers. Again, a new group of drivers. I think last week in Nashville, you had a little bit of an easier time at that track. Nashville is a little bit easier in general compared to New Hampshire. New Hampshire, you really have to know where your braking points are and be cognizant of your opposing drivers and their braking points. And we have somebody doing the Macarena out back. Looks like that's Michael Menchaca. I don't hear a caution being called yet. Looks like he just lost it and got a little help from Matthew Sample. But we're going to keep it green. He was already loose. Semple kind of gave him a little bit of help. I am down. A Black Sheep, if you are down, I am down. Next caution, we will drink together. Let's do it. We're going to have to anyways in about 4 laps. But I have small batch apple pie my wife made me. And it's really just warming me up on this summer evening. We are getting close, and Black Sheep looks like he has his beverage, and so do I. So here at the next caution, we will drink together and enjoy tonight. Keeping a close eye on that 54 car, William Hitzman. Holmes goes high. Ethan Burrell right on Elliott Drummond's bumper. Trying to make some moves. And wouldn't you know it, Perrin Huggins has appeared in the top 5. Mike DeWalt back in 8th. Next time by will be 2 laps to go. Oh, looks like it got hot and heavy between, looks like Cole and Militia maybe? Or Guilford. Might have to watch that back. Ethan Burrell all over the back bumper of Elliott Drummond. 1 more lap to go for the end of stage 2. Matthew Weeks, last week winner, could not be here tonight. These guys would be first-time winners of the series if they could get across. Looks like Holmes hit the wall there. That's going to allow Perrin Huggins to pull into 3rd. Elliott Drummond coming around turn 4. He is going to be your stage 2 winner here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And for Black Sheep, we will have a drink and we will re-rack and get back to green flag racing. Again, now we're going to have about 90 laps roughly or so of racing left to go. And as we take an ad break, let's have a drink. Welcome back to the Gears Cup Series on New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Marlboro 150. Again, Elliott Drummond, your Stage 2 winner, won Stage 1 and Stage 2 here tonight. Congratulations to him. We're here on the pit lane cam to see who gets off of the line. And we will have post-race interviews to come. Again, roughly 90 laps or so to the end. Looks like for the moment, Josh Cole is going to be your leader with Nathan Fuller, Matthew Semple, Brandon Smith, and John Howard, your top 5. Black Sheep, I had my drink and I kind of went a little too hard in the paint. But man, it was tasty. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Friday evening. iRacing at its finest. We will have recruitment races after this. One at Talladega, which I'll be hosting, and another one at Auto Club, which owner Mike DeWalt will be hosting. So hopefully, if you're watching and are interested in the league, look out for the names of Mike DeWalt and Thomas Torrey in the hosted session lobbies. Realistically, on the night, we've had 7 cautions for accidents, 2 cautions for stages. No more cautions left for stages. Hopefully, these guys can figure it out. They have been doing a little bit better. Again, it is a challenging track. I can't stress that enough. So people at home rolling their eyes saying, dear Lord, what the hell is going on? For a intermediate beginner driver, this track is going to humble you. With how flat it is, you have to brake early, and if you miss even just a little bit, you pay for it. And if somebody's next to you, you take them with you for the ride. Looks like we are back. Looks like the double file restarts. Thank you so much for that, admins, for doing that. Maybe take a quick swig before we get back to green. But again, we have a long way to go. Again, hopefully out you're lurking out there in Twitch land or earning them horse bucks. We get a long green flag session. I will play more loose and loud because we need to hear the cars more than you need to hear me. Josh Cole leads us off in the SDP 43 Chevy Camaro, and we are back green flag racing for the Gears Cup Series. Outside of him is going to be Nathan Fuller, Matthew Semple, Brandon Smith, Elliott Drummond, and Perrin Huggins. Again, 2 by 2 they go, and this is sketchy already. Everybody looks like through their first turn, mind their P's and Q's. Looks like it's getting a little dicey in this mid-pack, which we will pay attention to. Josh Cole is your leader and still doing that. Looks like Perrin Huggins and Brandon Smith making sweet love. Looks like he's going to clear him. Huggins will make the pass, and it is dicey. It looks like Cody Johnson got into the bumper of Trey Holmes. With John Howard kind of looking in his rearview mirror, probably sweating balls. Take a look at the back. And around goes Jonathan Militia, and it looks like who's going with him. Looks like it was Keaton Sawyers, Lucas Reed. And looks like we're going to keep it green.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Unfortunately, we are not going to keep it green. We're going to call the caution. And that is unfortunate. All right, Black Sheep. Set him up and knock it down once again. Let's do it. Whew. Oh, yeah. Wow. I must give a disclaimer. The more I drink, the looser I get. Hence the loose and loud session. The more cautions we do, the more in the bag I will get. For anybody concerned about drinking issues or habits, it's the only night I even remotely drink. And I brought a beverage because I knew New Hampshire was going to be packed full of action and the lack thereof. A lot of cautions, good racing up front, not so much in the back. We are not going to replay and go back through that. That was just unfortunate all around. Again, the sponsor of the race in the Marlboro car looks like Jonathan Militia. Reported having the coronavirus and blames Joe Biden. But still able to make the race. God bless America and God bless Jonathan Militia. Mike DeWalt riding around in 16th place. Man from Peoria, Illinois, and your points leader for the Gears Cup Series. Heading into the playoffs again. Last year, Keaton Sawyers and Mike DeWalt having an epic battle in the playoffs. Only for Keaton Sawyers to come out during the last race and bring it home. Right along with him as he's right behind the man, the myth, the legend, Mike DeWalt. Last year's champion, Keaton Sawyers. He gives me shit for my Wisconsin accent, and it sounds like Sawyers, but it's actually Sawyers. Hey, EWB, that's what I'm here for, and I love, I'll go on a limb, and I don't mean to get all sentimental, but I love this series. I love the people that are in it, the main core people that are in it. Really have accepted me into their home and allowing me to do this as broadcasting. So I feel immensely grateful and humbled to be a part of it. Really good, genuine people deep down. I've hung out with these guys for the last 2 years and have enjoyed every minute of it. They've brought me under their wing and brought me in as the old guy of the group. Couldn't ask for better friends as far as racing and hanging out online. So again, thank you, EWP, for that comment. It really does hit home for me. Josh Cole, Nathan Fuller, Elliott Drummond, Perrin Huggins, Brandon Smith, Ethan Burrell, Matthew Semple, Nick Wood, Sean Anderson, and Cody Johnson, your top 10 as we're getting set to go back green flag racing the Gears Cup Series. Best announcer on Twitch. Yeah, I wish, man. I wish. There are a lot of good guys out there. I know of a couple good that I could probably... Green Flag TV is excellent. They provide great content. The guys that do Shake and Bake. Shake and Bake League has some great commentators as well. Again, Josh Cole, Nathan Fuller on the front row leading us down. Elliott Drummond and Perrin Huggins to follow right behind them. Brandon Smith and Ethan Burrell in row 3. Matthew Semple, Nick Wood, row 4. Sean Anderson and Cody Johnson. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing for the Marlboro 150.
Green flag, green flag.
Here on Twitch.tv. As we are back in, it looks like mid-pack from about 10th on back got a little scrambled, but it looks like they are going to be okay. As we're going to watch a little bit towards the back of the towards the back of the field, because that seems to be where the action is all night long. You see Anderson there, Semple, Holmes, Meyer, Cutlip, Johnson, Wood as well. A lot of phallical references in that, but I'm just going to hold off because we're about 75 laps away from the conclusion. Again, braking points are a huge thing here. Using up your left front, right front, right rear are critical. Oh, and it looks like going for a ride is Sean Anderson. Is he praying to Jesus? Yes, he is, and he is back on the track. no caution. We are still good to go. Looks like Brandon Smith is taking a back seat as well as he's losing places rapidly. Elliott Drummond, as we've been talking, took over the lead from Josh Cole and is back out front. So it's Drummond, Cole, Huggins, Fuller, and Burrell. Great battle. Oh, looks like going heavy in the paint is the 51 car. Almost was drifting through 3 and 4. Good run to the inside of John Cutlip, but is not going to be able to do anything with it this lap as he will tuck back in. Matthew Semple and Trey Holmes right there as well, and Mike DeWalt, the points leader. Almost signed a deal with MeetYourMom.com, but backed out at the end. It looks like we have a little bit of action there. Looks like Nathan Guilford was able to keep it together. Thank goodness, because we do not need another caution right now. Black Sheep has redeemed the first ever loose and loud moment where I shut the hell up and let you, the viewer, enjoy the show. Here we go, unabated by me. Here is a loose and loud segment for the Gears Cup Series on Twitch.tv. Looks like Cody Johnson met Jesus very quickly. Not sure if they're going to call that or not. His front end is tore up. Oh my God. Looks like because it was a single car, they're not going to call the caution. And we'll end that loose and loud segment here. And I have along with me tonight, prominent guy in the racing industry. Takes a lot of pictures, a lot of photos. Has a good time doing it. I am joined here tonight by Jordan Clayton. New person here in the Gears Cup Series, but a guy that we've known here for a minute. Jordan, how are you, sir? Not a problem. Let me see if I can get this to work here. For some reason, it doesn't want to. Yeah, so it looks like Streamlabs doesn't want me to connect to Jordan Clayton. Apparently that is not a possibility at the moment, but I'm going to keep trying here until we do. Yeah, it has been a clean, long run for the most part with that accident. It was a single car, so they kept it going. Looks like Ethan Burrell's going to take the lead.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And it looks like we have ourselves a caution. It's been a minute, but we do have ourselves a caution. Go. Looks like that's Hitzman. Yes, it does. Let's back it up and see what we can find on the Gears Instant Replay. See what the haps. Looks like Aiden Lunn and Hitzman. Two younger drivers. Looks like Hitzman tried to help him. Aiden Lunn got loose and Hitzman took him. Or Aiden Lunn took Hitzman with him. So fortunately, Aiden Lunn, again, having a little bit of trouble, but able to get through that relatively unscathed. And here we go from pit lane. Yeah, nothing does. Yeah, pits are already starting. And you're right. Nothing beats 4 freshies, especially on a caution where you can get them.
Testing 1.
All right, and I'm bringing in now the man that I was trying to bring in before, Mr. Jordan Clayton. Jordan, again, re-bringing you in here. Thank you for coming on and joining us for this race. There's been a few cautions here this evening, but glad to have you along with us. How's your night going, sir?
Well, first off, I want to thank you for bringing me on here. Obviously, I didn't get to catch it till late, but it's been a very good race so far. Other than the night's going pretty good. I'm hoping we got a turnout for the Skiers Cup Series race we got going on here, because it looks like some really good action.
Yeah, we had about 32 sign up here for this evening. We did, I don't know if you heard the news in our announcements, but we did extend our field from 32 to 40. So it's awesome, if we have more than plenty, we have more room, than necessary right now, but that is by design, just because we want people to come here to race and feel like they belong here.
Yeah, I think we got some really good competition in this field. I'm hoping maybe some of these followers want to try it out and be a part of this. It's a great series to be a part of. These people in here are great people. They'll help you do just about anything you need help with. It's just all around good people.
Yeah, we try to put our best foot forward with everyone and give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And the people that we have here right now have been excellent. I mean, guys that just joined recently is out front, Ethan Burrell and Elliot Drummond. 2 guys that I'm very high on for the end of the season. They're not going to be points eligible, as it were, but guys that are really talented drivers. And I'm happy to have along for the long haul, hopefully here going into 2024.
Yeah, and for some of those viewers out there, I mean, if you're worried, you may not have the time to do something like this, or, you only get 2 days a week to get on here and race. Look, you're talking to 2 guys here that have families. I mean, we have kids, we have wives. I mean, we've got to work. I mean, but we still try to find time to get in here and get a race in the weekend and just hang out with these guys. I mean, after all, when the races are done, I mean, we're all friends, man. This is just an awesome group to be a part of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we are getting set to go green flag racing. Ethan Burrell, Elliot Drummond, Perrin Huggins, and John Cutlip are our first 2 rows of drivers. Mike DeWalt, Sean Anderson, Brandon Meyer, Jonathan Militia, Brandon Smith, and Lucas Reed rounding out our top 10 as we are getting ready to go back to dancing. Don't know if you're into polka, Jordan, but that's where we're heading. The Geico Restart Zone, Ethan Burrell will lead us off, and here we go. 105 laps of 150 complete. Burrell, Drummond, Cutlin, Huggins, and Anderson, your top 5. And we already got Action Jackson in the back. Looks like with Jonathan Militia, that's going to keep it green, though. Militia will back off and keep it green. Very smart play by Militia. Unfortunately for him, that's not going to result in a top 10, most likely. But again, long way to go. We have 45 laps left to go. Jordan, I know you kind of didn't want to touch on this too much, but What do you do for a living?
Well, I actually work 2 jobs. I'm a maintenance man of one, and a little freight of another. Hopefully, this will only be for next year, and I'll get my CDLs and be able to drive and have more time for racing and family. That's the ultimate goal, is obviously family first, but
Oh, sure.
I'd like to be able to sneak a little racing in when I can.
And how many kids do you have? Like 45, 46?
No, it feels like that at times, obviously.
I know.
I've got 3. I've got
Yeah, me too, me
daughters,
too.
a 15-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a son that's 8.
Wow. And how's it? And I gotta ask, because I have 3 children, 9, 4, and 1. What's it like, the difference between being like a young kid and then like a teenager going into high school?
Man, I tell you, girls are difficult at times. Obviously, with the body changing and things of that nature, but
Yeah.
overall, it's awesome because you can kind of see what you did as a kid through their own eyes. So it's kind of neat.
That's awesome. Yeah. Again, being a father of 3, I'm kind of, some days you wish they would just grow up, and other days you'd wish they would stay at that age for a little bit longer. Definitely
Absolutely.
can kind of feel you there. Yeah.
We got some good racing up here at the front.
Absolutely. Elliott Drummond, John Cutlett, Ethan Burrell, Perrin Huggins, and Sean Anderson, your top 5. Mike DeWalt, Brandon Meyer, Trey Holmes, Lucas Reed, and Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. rounding out your top 10. And a guy, and I got to give him a shout out. The guy has been hanging around hometown of Worth. Robert Fitzpatrick Sr., a guy who has missed a few races but has come back and is still in the chase for the playoffs. Again, showing up is half the battle. I guess that goes for anything, with your job or anything. Showing up is just half the battle.
From what I've seen so far, it looks like Drummond's got a really good short run speed. But the 37 just looks like he's got that long run. I wonder if he can hold it on for the end of this stint.
Speaking of, Ethan Burrell gives up the lead to John Cutlett, who was our pole sitter, and then got into some early trouble. I don't know if you watched that there early on there, Jordan, but first lap he kind of rode it way too hard going into 1 and 2, bounced off the wall, but has able to come back and take the lead. So he's definitely has rebounded with his Mobile 1 at 28 Ford Mustang. Definitely happy to have him. And Jordan, I got to ask you, are you down to race this evening? What is your plans for tonight?
Oh, you already know. As soon as this is over, I'm locked and ready to go.
Yeah, hopefully you join at Talladega. There's going to be 2 recruitment races after this. One at Talladega, one at Auto Club, and one at Talladega I am hosting, so hope to see you there for that one. Cutlett, Burrell, Huggins, Anderson, and Drummond, your top 5. Mike DeWalt, Trey Holmes, Brandon Meyer, Lucas Reed, and Tyler Steiner rounding out your top 10. This stage 3, or final stage, I should say, has been a good one. Minimal cautions at best. Looks like we're starting to get spread out, as you can see as I'm scrolling through the field now. Battle between Cody Johnson and Kyle Munson. This one's a good one. Battle here for 12th. Johnson goes the inside and clears Munson for the pass. Yeah, again, good racing all the way around now that we finally have gotten a little bit more clarity on the track. Again, John Cutlett, Ethan Burrell, Perrin Huggins, Sean Anderson, and Elliott Drummond, your top 5. Only ones that have won there are Perrin Huggins and Sean Anderson. Drummond, Burrell, and Cutlett would each be their first time winning here at the Gears Cup Series if they happen to cross the finish line at first tonight.
Question, do you think they can make it to the end on these sets of tires and this set of fuel they got?
The way it's been going, I don't think so. With 50% fuel capacity and the way that some of these drivers have used their tires, I would imagine there's going to be at least 2 cautions more, as well as, pit stop. I don't know if pit stop strategy is going to come into play, but maybe, especially with how spread out they are now, definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I see we could be looking at some green flag pit stops, which could give some drivers a potential to jump a position or two.
And that's what I'm hoping. Oh, Sean Anderson hits the wall. Has able to get it back straight. But Mike DeWalt is pouncing like a cheetah going after a small child with ice cream. Closing in slowly. I feel like with that bounce off the wall, toe link has to be broken.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. Looks like maybe he got to that bumper, put a little bit of air on that spoiler, got him loose.
Looks like he will make the pass and go into the top 5. Man, right behind him is Trey Holmes going into 6th now. Sean Anderson has entered pit lane. We're going to go one more time here since we're on a green flag run. The Loose and Loud segment brought to you by the Gears Cup Series. Again, John Cutlip, Ethan Burrell, Elliot Drummond, Perrin Huggins, and Trey Holmes, your top 5. Back along with me now is Jordan Clayton hanging out, watching the race together as we're getting close to 25 laps to the end. Pit stops are happening here. Again, still a long way to go, but a good long green flag run for these guys.
Yeah, I would expect these guys to probably start pulling off and pitting in the next 10 laps just to get those 4 fresh tires and top it off with fuel to the end of the race.
Absolutely. As I mentioned before, John Cutlip, your leader, again, pole sitter, had a little bit of trouble early on, able to keep it together. Now about to put a lap on Sean Anderson and Matt Albert. Cutlip, Burrell, Drummond, Huggins, and Holmes, your top 5, with DeWalt, Reed, Johnson, Steiner, and Brandon Smith, your top 10. Again, post-race interviews to follow. Hopefully you get some explanation and first-hand experience, or second-hand, I guess, from the drivers.
I've been watching Cutlip the last couple laps. He's been diamond in the corner in 1 and 2. It seems like it's working out really well for him.
For now, but we'll see how those tires hold up towards the end. Again, coming across the line, we have 24 laps to go for the Marlboro 150. Next week, we will be at Pocono for the Dundee's 250. Cutlip has a little bit over a second on Ethan Burrell. As you see from the blimp cam, the space between them, and then Elliott Drummond sitting there in third. What do these guys have left in their cars?
I think you'll start seeing these guys from about 6th place back pulling off, trying to get some 4 fresh tires, try to run down these leaders.
Tires are ever so important, at least right sides going into your final pit stop. But again, as I think we all know with this car model, going with right sides only can end up screwing your race rather than helping you win. And I'll be honest, I did not run with the 50% fuel capacity, so I don't know how many laps they can make it on a tank. Again, it is 50% fuel capacity as we run just about half of a normal cup race. Again, John Cutlip, Ethan Burrell, Elliott Drummond, Perrin Huggins, Trey Holmes, your top 5. Mike DeWalt, Lucas Reed, Cody Johnson, Tyler Steiner, and Brandon Smith rounding out your top 10. Again, Brandon Smith, a new face to this league, but a guy who has shown up with great potential in the 56 car.
Burrell seems like he's running down this leader when he's trying to work this lap traffic.
You are correct, cutting it under a half second here now. Is Burrell hurting for a squirtin'?
Got to be so frustrating being a leader and trying to get around these lap cars.
Yeah, these lap cars are definitely putting a damper on their action. But again, another element of the race that we have to worry about. Again, long green flag runs. This is what we should be seeing. Cutlip, your leader. Ethan Burrell in second. Elliott Drummond in third. Perrin Huggins in fourth. Trey Holmes in fifth. And Mike DeWalt in sixth. Again, Mike DeWalt, your points leader. About 3 weeks away from the playoffs. Playoffs beginning in Atlanta. Heard that town is waxed. Ethan Burrell to the inside of lap traffic of Eric Holloway.
I'm not
Mark
so
Holloway,
sure
excuse me.
I don't know if it's the lap traffic or if Ethan Burrell's long run speed is just coming to play. Man, his car was so fast on that last long run.
And it is happening now. Ethan Burrell is closing in slowly but surely. 17 laps to go when we cross the start-finish line. And for the fans at home, one more time here tonight, we're going to do a loose and loud session because I love it and I know you do too. Here we go with all the sights and sounds that iRacing has to offer. Here's a loose and loud from the Gears Cup Series. bringing it back to you from our Loose and Loud segment. 12 laps to go before the conclusion of the Marlboro 150. Again, I am Thomas Torrey, a.k.a. the Horseboat. Have Jordan Clayton alongside me here tonight for the conclusion of this race, and we're just talking about Cutlip and Burrell. Two drivers battling through lap traffic. Probably going to have to pit one more time, but putting such a show on for the rest of the field.
Absolutely, man. These two cars right here are fast. And that long run speed of Burrell is showing up. If he can just find a way to get around this 28, I think he'll pull away.
Burrell keeping it steady, and we're going to keep the cameras right here on the leader as it has been an epic battle and showdown. There is 4 seconds between second place and third. So we're going to keep it right here as Burrell goes to the inside, but tuck it right back in behind John Cutlip. Burrell just all over the back bumper of the 28 car. 9 laps to go. Burrell to the inside. Not this time. Or is he? Got the left rear corner panel. Getting close. Is going to have to tuck right back in. Cutlip not giving up the inside line, making Burrell go up to the outside, and Burrell's going to go to the outside. The 37 Toyota Camry. Side by side they go, and I cannot tell you who led that lap. I think Burrell. Now battling through lap traffic. Josh Cole in front of them, about to go lap down. Side by side is the 28 and 37 with 8 laps to go. Burrell passing on the outside. Locking up Josh Cole. Josh Cole getting a bump from Burrell. Burrell to the inside now of John Cutlip. We have a race with 7 laps to go for the Marlboro 150. We are not moving the cameras, ladies and gentlemen. We are staying right here as this is an epic battle. I don't want to say David versus Goliath because both these guys have been pretty decent all race. Again, if you are just joining us, Cutlip was our pole sitter. First lap, went a little too hard into 1 and 2, bounced off the wall, was able to rebound, come back, climb back through with the cautions that we have had, and reclaim the lead. 6 laps to go. Again, thank you to the viewers just joining us for the conclusion of the Marlboro 150. Again, post-race interviews will be happening here shortly following the checkered flag. Again, next week we're going to be at Pocono Raceway for the Dundee's 250. 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time will be when we start the stream up to get you in here. Qualifying promptly at 8 p.m. Eastern. 5 laps to go for the Marlboro 150. Who's going to take home the free carton of cigarettes and a trophy of the Marlboro Man? Is it going to be John Cutlip? Is it going to be Ethan Burrell? Or is it going to be Elliott Drummond? Drummond about 5 seconds back of these leaders. Matthew Semple now about ready to get put down a lap. I wonder, Jordan, if these guys are going to have to pit.
Yeah, I've been wondering that myself. What I'm seeing, it's looking like Ethan Burrell may have used up his stuff.
Yeah, it looks like whatever mojo he had is kind of shut off for the moment, but we'll see if he can rekindle that magic with 3 laps to go. Again, either two would be first-time winners here tonight. Cutlip still holding Burrell at bay. Two laps to go. Yeah, John Cutlip, Ethan Burrell, Elliott Drummond, Trey Holmes, and Mike DeWalt, your top 5. Brandon Smith, who's an 8th, getting put a lap down. So everybody in the 32-car field up to 8th has been at least a lap down or more. Looks like a battle between Steiner and Reed there forming. But here we go with our final lap. Between Cutlip and Burrell. Coming into 3 and 4. John Cutlip. Your winner of the Marlboro 150 is going to be the 28 car of John Cutlip. First time winner of the Gears Cup Series from Fairfax, Virginia. John Cutlip in the Ford Mustang number 28 Mobile 1 car is your winner of the Marlboro 150.
What an amazing race. Yeah, I was under the impression that he had used up his stuff, trying to get around him on the outside.
It's hard to really regain that momentum once you use your stuff up. Couldn't make the magic happen at the end. So John Cutlip gets his first win of the Gears Cup Series. And hopefully more on the way as we are just under a month away from the playoffs. We'll be right back in a moment with some interviews and hopefully with our race winner. Again, Jordan Clayton, thank you for having the opportunity or having the moment to come on and join us as I do appreciate you joining me for the last part of this race.
I appreciate you inviting me. It was an awesome experience. Love to do it again.
Thank you, Jordan. We'll be right back for a moment with our sponsor, and we'll get some interviews in here at the Gears Cup Series on the Horseboat Channel. All right, we are back. The Gears Cup Series Marlboro 150. We have our winner. We have Ethan Burrell on the line. We have a multitude of people. So we have Elliott Drummond, we have Jonathan Cutlip, and we have Ethan Burrell. Let's start with Ethan Burrell. My man, you had such a good race going. You were closing in. Me and Jordan were watching it towards the end. Just didn't have enough. It looks like that altercation with Josh Cole really kind of put the nail in the casket. But give us a little quick description of your evening.
Yeah, for sure. It was a good race. It started off rough the first half. Everyone was kind of getting their feet under them, and yeah, I'm so glad we had a long run at the end there. That was a blast. Trying to manage the fuel. We were having to save a bit whenever we could, and also still trying to battle for the win. And I mean, we were both having to deal with lap traffic, so I mean, it was a product of the situation. And I threw everything I had at John. He was solid. I had to start going hard a little bit before him so I could get up to him, and I ended up sputtering coming off of 4 to the finish anyway. But yeah, man, it was awesome.
Yeah, we weren't sure if you were going to be able to make it on fuel or not, but it was cool to see that long green flag run after everybody kind of got their stuff figured out towards the end. But I know you're going to get a win here sooner or later, I hope, here before the playoffs begin. But again, another great run. Consistency is key here. Glad to have you, Ethan, and hopefully future success here very, very soon.
Yeah, thanks, man, and congrats to John too on the big win.
Absolutely.
See you guys next time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ethan. That is the number 37 car. Ethan Burrell coming home in second place. Elliot Drummond now in the number 29 coming home in third. Led most of the race. Stage winner here tonight a couple times over. Elliot, I really thought you were gonna spoil the fun and come home with a win. What happened your night here tonight?
I'm going to be fully honest with you. I bought New Hampshire today, never ran it before ever. So, honestly, leading a lap and coming home top 10 is actually pretty astounding. But to lead 85 laps, come home third, I mean, that was remarkable. I mean, I felt like that was one of the most complete races I ever did. Fell off towards the end, but that's just me kind of overdoing it or sometimes underdoing it. But there's something I should just work on. But I mean, if I didn't make that mistake, I mean, could have been there. But I thought they were going to run out of fuel. About that,
Oh, yeah, me
Jonathan,
too.
and I thought they were going to run out of fuel. For the last, within 10 to go, I started kicking the engine off, started coasting to the corner. I was like a lap good to the good because I was kicking and coasting. I didn't think they were kicking and coasting. Otherwise, I think I would have probably been too short. I really thought they were going to run out of fuel, so I started saving. I backed off big time. I was 2 seconds back, and I fell back to 6 seconds back, really thinking they're going to run out of gas. But, you know, they didn't. You live, you learn. It's whatever. Third place, it's awesome because I didn't think I was going to get a 10th. So,
Well, Elliot Drummond, you
where are we
really
going?
have a lot of talent. Next week it's going to be Pocono Raceway. Hopefully you're there for the Dundee's 250. I know you're going to be in victory lane here, I would imagine, within the next 3 weeks. Elliot, best of luck to you, man, and hopefully good luck here in the future.
Yeah, Pocono is probably my statistically best track, so I'm ready for it.
He's calling a shot like Babe Ruth. Looks like he might walk away the winner next week. I am hopeful, and will be my pick for next week. Bringing up now the
Thank
winner. You're welcome. The winner of tonight's race, Jonathan Cutlip in the number 28 Mobile 1 Ford Mustang. And I got to say, tonight's race was, in the beginning, you were on the pole, started off a little shaky, but really rebounded into a great night and ended up in victory lane. Mr. Cutlip, go ahead and give kind of a breakdown of your evening and how it went.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a messy evening, huh?
It was.
Yeah. Yeah, we started first, which I was super happy about that, and then just going into turn 1, I didn't hit the brake hard enough. I have new pedals now, and just going into turn 1, I wasn't expecting it to be that stiff, and just completely just sailed the corner and just tagged the wall.
That does happen. I mean, especially with New Hampshire, I would imagine being out front there to start the race, you want to kind of hit that corner perfectly, and when you don't, it's kind of magnified as far as that goes. But no, you rebounded well. You came back, won the race, and I mean, you dominated the last 15 laps, 15, 20 laps. Really brought yourself, and you put the Gears Cup Series on notice.
Yeah, I'm super happy about the last about 30 or so laps. Just was able to make my way up through the field, a little tense at times. Just made some contact, which was unfortunate, and I'd like to apologize to them. But
It's
yeah,
racing.
we ended up getting up. Yeah, ended up making some track position back up, and we're just chipping away at it. And caution came out, able to get on the same cycle with everyone else, and we were just able to get into the lead and just try to save as much fuel as we could and still race one of my best friends for the win. Was pretty cool.
Well, congratulations to you on win number 1, and I'm sure the more to come here in the Gears Cup Series. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out or a thanks to?
Thank you to you Thomas, and the Gears League. It's been super cool to just hop in and run. It's been a fun night. I definitely had fun tonight.
Well, I hope you come back again. You definitely have the talent and definitely a front runner for 2024 as far as a championship contender. Again, you are the winner of the Marlboro 150. And again, congratulations, the first of many in this league, I am sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
Hopefully
welcome.
I see you again soon.
I hope so as well. And that is going to conclude the Marlboro 150. We are off and away next week to Pocono Raceway for the Dundee's 250. Again, starting at promptly 7:45 Eastern Time, 6:45 Central. I am Tom Torrey, a.k.a. The Horseboat. Have a great evening, and thank you for joining us on the Gears Cup Series.